rapport is an important part of public speaking. You want to connect with your audience so that they listen to you, right? So if we talk about rapport and persuasion, rapport will come first. You need to establish that bridge with your audience so that you can further on persuade them.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday and we take questions and answers from the audience, some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy.
So first of all, guys, let's take a short exercise. I want you to read this passage and I want you to share with me, how does it make you feel? Your feelings about this passage from a speech. Right, so this is a short part from a speech, and this is a short part from a motivational speech, right? So if you read the full part, maybe it will make more meaning. Yes, it will make more sense to you. But what I wanted to show you, that this is apart from a motivational speech, and this is something that is supposed to inspire you. It's supposed to lift you up, right? That's why there are so many short sentences that seem like bad grammar. Yes. So for example, you can't dabble, it's too important. It's a stream of words. It is not a prepared speech. It is impromptu, right? That's why it looks a little bit weird when you see it in the written form. But how does it make you feel? My question is, does it make you feel like it's lifting you up? Does it make you feel inspired in some way? Let's jump into Milton model. Milton model is a big part of NLP. This is when we talk to people in very vague language. Why do we need this vague language? This is because you want to build rapport. We're still on the rapport side, right? So to build rapport, vague language is the best thing to do so, because it is so easy to agree with someone if the language is vague. You do not go into any details, and for people it's so easy to nod along and say, yes, yes, I agree with that, because all that vague language will be filled with details by your listeners, and they will fill it with the details that they prefer. And this will make them feel very nice about your speech. They will feel like they are connecting. They will feel like you know them. You're saying the things that they agree with. And this is what you want. To build rapport, you want to be together with your audience. You want to be on the same wave. Yes? All right. So let's take a look how we can do that. There are many of them in NLP, but today we'll take a look at a couple of tools that you can use from Milton model to create those vague language, okay? The first one is truisms. Truisms are the statements that are obviously true and they don't say anything new for you, right? So for example, I might say to you guys, everyone who's here today, I might say, you're here because you want to learn and grow. And I guess a lot of people will agree with that, and it's so difficult to disagree with this, right? It's very vague. I did not tell you anything new. So it's something that is difficult to deny, an undeniable generalization. Let's take a look at the next one, presuppositions. What are presuppositions? They are things which have to be assumed true so that something else can happen. And presuppositions can help you to shape your audience's mind. They can help you to program. That's why we call it programming, to program your audience so they go along with you on the same wave. For example, you can say, we're going to be able to fight poverty after we understood its major cause. Can you see the play of words here? Can you feel that the speaker says, after we understood its major cause? The speaker means that everybody will understand the major cause. And this is already sets the audience in this kind of frame, in this kind of feeling that, yes, I can understand this cause. And yes, we will fight the poverty, right? So this is something that helps you to unite the audience together, and they kind of ride on the same wave together because you already pre-shaped them in this direction, in this thinking. Let's take a look at the next one, embedded suggestions. Embedded suggestions are the suggestions that are marked with an emphasis through changing your tone and pace. In public speaking, your voice is a very important tool. This is the tool that can shift mountains. If you can control your voice, if you can pace, if you can use pauses, if you can have vocal variety, you can say the same sentence with so many different meanings just through the change of your voice. And this is the same thing in NLP. It's connected with NLP. So let's take a look at this example. It's hard to predict how much positive change is going to happen. If I put emphasis on the word hard, this is what people are going to remember. If I say it's hard to predict how much positive change and blah, 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 right? I want you to hear the word hard. But what you can do is you can turn it all around and upside down, and you can put emphasis on the second part of the sentence. And this is exactly what people will remember. You can say, it's hard to predict how much positive change is going to happen. You separate the sentence into two parts by a pause and a tone, and you show people that the second part, although it's the part of the whole sentence, but it can be a separate part, it can be positive change is going to happen. Although you mentioned something about hard to predict, but because you separated this whole chunk into something different and is something separate and specific individual, yes, it's on its own, people will pay attention more to this. So use your voice to have this embedded suggestions in the sentence. Yes, you can see like this is a suggestion. The positive change is going to happen, and people will in their subconscious believe that this positive changes is taking place soon. And generalizations is a huge thing for a Milton model, to make all those things very vague so that people have no other option but to agree with you. Let's take a look. For example, words like everyone, always, often, all, or every. For example, every failure brings you closer to success. Can anyone say no to that? Very difficult, right? Or everyone deserves to be happy. So broad, so vague. And that's why people agree with you. And that's why you build rapport. And rapport is all you need so that your audience follows along and listens to you. Also, there could be words that imply necessity. For example, everyone needs good health. Yes, we cannot deny that. Everyone needs, you need good health. That's true. Or we have to accept the change around us. There's no other way. And it's a huge generalization. And it's kind of like truism as well. There's no other way around it. Change happens, and that's the only constant in the world, right? So when you guys craft your speech next time, think about this. How many generalizations do you have in your speech? How vague are you? You don't need to be vague on purpose, because all your speech is going to be too vague. All the sentences are too vague is not good. But you must have some of the vague language in your speech to build that rapport, because people who agree with each other will follow each other's thoughts and will be way more easier to persuade them. Great, guys. And cause and effect is about connecting two things together so that they make sense. For example, because you're here, you're ready to step out of your comfort zone and grow. Right. So now, guys, let's go back to this badly written extract, yes, which was not written, but was just transcribed from the impromptu speaking. And let's take a look at it with our new eyes, okay? So now let's analyze it. Can you see some VAK, visual auditory kinesthetic? And can you see some Milton model, all that vague language? So you can see that this speaker speaks with a lot of generalizations, and that's why it's so easy to get influenced by those words, because yes, I agree. Yes, you don't need to be rich and be in the graveyard. Nobody wants that. Yes, we mainly focus on minor things. Majority of people, everybody loves you, easy to agree. And also, guys, pay attention who is the speaker. Who is the speaker?
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
I can't believe it. When I just saw this, I was like, really?
Yes, and I did that on purpose, Jennifer, because if I showed you his name in the beginning, you would be influenced by his name. You will be influenced by his creativity, and you will immediately think that this is a good thing, that this is a motivational thing. So another thing in NLP that Adrian always talks about is the level of permission. How much do people permit you to talk, and how much do they permit to themselves to trust your words? And in public speaking, credibility is super important. So if you guys are not as famous as Tony Robbins, what you need to do in your speech when you go on stage, the first thing you need to do is to establish your credibility. You need to show people that you are worthy to listen to. So how can you do that? If you are a doctor, if you are a person working in medicine sphere, for example, you want to show people your authority by telling people your experience. For example, you could say, I've been working in the field for 30 years. This is your credibility, right? So you want to show people that you are trustworthy. This is so important. This will give you the permission to penetrate into their minds and to eventually persuade them. This is what will help you. Thank you, guys. You did a fantastic job. So it's time for us to move on to the persuasion part. Yes, the most exciting one. How do we persuade people, and how can NLP help us with persuasion? So let's take a look at the first one, which is linguistic coding. With linguistic coding, we kind of shape people's mind. We shape what they think. So we do pacing, and then we tell them the desired outcome. In NLP, Pacing is when you kind of lead your audience so they want to follow you. Pacing is everything that we talked about before. The Milton model, the vague language. You are pacing. They agree with you, agree with you, agree with you. Boom, you give them something, you tell them the desired outcome that you want to have for them. Yes, the desired outcome that they have. So you make them agree, you build that rapport, and then you code them. So let's take a look at this example. We have a combination of truism, cause and effect, linking word, and then we get this punchline of desired outcome, the final part. Let's take a look. Desired outcome is that I want you to be a better speaker. So you come to this session today, and now I want you to I want to code you guys. So what I can say like this: you are here because you want to learn and grow. Pacing, you agree with me, right, on that? And this means you're listening carefully now. Well, I kind of connect this cause and effect. You are here, you want to learn, and that's why you're listening. Yes, I make these two parts like they are connected, they make sense with each other. And then I use the linking word, and that's why also another effect. I'm sure you will be a better speaker by the end of this meeting. So I'm telling you my desired outcome, right? So this is how you pace, and then you code, and you kind of install this desired outcome in your listeners, and they follow you, and they are ready to learn, and they are ready to grow and be better speakers. This is how the power of language works, and this is how you can use it in public speaking.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.